Hey everybody, it's Mark again, and I'm working on this Lux Happy Days clock. In the last video, I told you that the hairspring was broken. I got a bunch of hairsprings here. They're made in India, 72 pieces, but the problem with the hairsprings is they're probably cheaply made. The first one, the hairspring came off the collet itself, this being the collet, which is the center part of the hairspring. I watched a video. I will add it in the description of this video. But I successfully put a hairspring on the clock, but hopefully I can point it to where you could see it. Gotta find it again, stand by. There's the end of the hairspring right here, and it's going, there's the end of the hairspring right there, and it's going that way. In other words, I put the hairspring on backwards. So now I have to take it off and put it on the other way. I will say that I don't particularly care for the way this Lux clock is set up, because this posting here is permanent. I think it's pressed in. Then this stud here that catches the hairspring, it only goes so far down. So hopefully I can take this hairspring off without breaking it. I got it off. Now I need to flip it around using my handy dandy little doorknob stud here. Let's see if I could take it off the rest of the way and flip it around. Don't ever get old. It sucks to get old. You can't see what you're wanting to see. And then with my pen vise, putting it on top of there, I'm gonna hammer it down. So hopefully I got it in the right position now. So let's put it back in the clock. These things are so fragile. And these things work great in pocket watches, but personally, I don't think they deserve to be in a clock. Because there's not a lot of room. Clock parts are bigger than it. I'm just making sure that it's where it needs to be. I will also say that the spring broke on this movement. So I don't think the spring is down. Well, maybe it is. It can't go in. It can't go down any further, or the this lever here is going to hit the balance wheel. As I was saying, the spring broke on this movement. I thought it was a good spring. But it's not winding up, and I could see right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's broken right there. So I'm going to have to replace the spring also. So I don't want to go any further on this clock, because I have to take it all back apart to replace the spring, and hopefully I have a spring. But if you have a balance wheel with the hairspring on it that's damaged, you could order these from Time Savers. Comes with 72 pieces. There's different sizes. And you can replace yours if you have to. Like I said, I'm going to add a link to this video in the description. And I just want to say that sometimes as clock people we get discouraged because things don't go right. And I think I might have gotten a little discouraged as some of your comments indicated. I did get a little discouraged. I don't like working on these hairsprings. I don't understand them. If I worked on them every day, I would figure them out. I started collecting clocks in '99. I had a few cuckoo clocks. The other clocks, English, German, French clocks, I'd take apart, put back together. Had a cuckoo clock, couldn't figure it out. And then in 2019 is when I decided that I was going to figure out cuckoo clocks. It happened to be a count wheel cuckoo clock, so it's made in the 50s or earlier. And so the cuckoo clock repair guide that I bought, some people like this book. I think it could have been written a little bit better. Some people like this book. The NAWCC says there's a lot of discrepancies in this book. I use them for reference. I use this book here more than I use this book, only because in my videos I like being able to tell you what the name of the part is. And here's a breakdown of the parts on a regular 25 one-day movement. And here's what all the parts are called. Here's a breakdown of a regular 34 movement. Here's what all the parts are called. This book doesn't really mention how to repair a clock with a count wheel system in it. So basically I had to figure it out on my own. And now people are contacting me for help with their cuckoo clocks. And so I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, if you get discouraged with something, set it to the side, think about it, watch some YouTube videos. There are some decent YouTube videos out there, and then there are some YouTube videos out there that you wonder why. There wasn't the YouTube videos out there when I started repairing cuckoo clocks back in 2019. There's one guy that was pick hair dust out of a clock movement and say, well, once I take all this hair out, the clock will run. Well, no, it won't. It needs to be taken apart. It needs to be cleaned. But anyway, I'm sorry to get off tangent here. Sometimes setting things to the side will will help you out. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes when I set things to the side, it might be a week, it might be a few weeks, or a case like the cuckoo clocks. I set them to the side in 1999, and 20 years later, I started to work on them. So sometimes it might be a while for me. So don't ever get so discouraged that you just give up completely. Work on it a little bit. You might have to go out and buy another one because you messed it up. Well, that's the only way that you're going to learn. You learn from your mistakes. That's not the first movement like that I got discouraged on or messed up. And so it won't be the last. Anyway, I hope y'all like this video. Please hit the subscribe button, and may God bless each and every one of you.